So this is the Whyte S150 and it's our new 2018 long travel 29er, which is also switchable between 29-inch wheels and the new 27.5 by 2.8 inch wheel set, 2.8 inch tyres. This bike has been derived from the T129, which is a bike which taught us a lot about the shape of 29er full suspension bikes, and we've brought all that knowledge into this long travel version with the S150. The bike is a full SCR suspension bike, which means there's no provision for a front mech. It's built completely around one-by drivetrains, and that allows us to make a much more symmetrical, stiffer and stronger rear triangle. The pivot is 20% wider compared to a non-SCR bike, and that translates to a quarter increase in the rear torsional stiffness of the bike. It features a new carbon fibre front triangle, and the geometry of the S150 has been built specifically to be switchable between 29-inch wheels and 27.5-inch wheels. It actually features a custom offset fork. The new RockShox Pike is in 150mm travel, which is a special travel for Whyte, but it also has a 42mm offset, which is again unique for a 29-inch fork. Now the reason for that is to create much more trail in the bike. So when we look down at the bottom of the contact patch between the tyre and the ground, and if we extend the line from the steering axis down to the ground, the trail is the amount that the contact patch trails behind the point where the steering axis intersects with the ground. And having more trail is absolutely crucial to the bike remaining stable at all points of the suspension travel. As the suspension fork compresses, you lose trail. Trail decreases as the suspension compresses. So if you go through 150mm of fork travel, you lose 95mm of trail. Now the S150 has 126mm of trail to start with, so there's plenty in hand. The bike has a lot of capacity to be ridden hard, where you're using up all the suspension travel, and you find yourself in that situation where the bike is right at the end of the trail number. Because if you have negative trail, in other words, if the contact patch is ahead of the steering axis, which is potentially possible in certain riding circumstances, then the bike becomes very unstable in the steering and very twitchy, right at the point where you don't want it to be. So the bike is designed with this new special custom offset fork. It also keeps the steering much more neutral because the fork is much more in line with the steering axis. 51mm offset forks, which is the traditional 29-inch fork offset, actually offsets the whole mass of the fork from the steering axis, and that can exhibit itself when you have very floppy steering, when you're climbing, and also when you're descending. And of course 42mm offset is also compatible with 27.5-inch wheels, so when you switch the bike from 29 to 27.5, you have exactly the right fork offset. So those are the three main points behind the special custom offset fork for the Whyte S150. Overall, a really exciting bike in the 2018 Whyte range. Lots of press about this bike online already, and really setting the standard for long travel 29ers.